Welcome to another episode of Trek Talk with Tech and Kirk. I'm TechMan16.
And I'm Strange Handy. Oh, Kirk, you're there. Hi, buddy.
The thunder was stolen.
I like doing that. It's fun. And, yeah. So that was a great introduction.
Kirk is he's probably with his kid right now.
He's Kirkin. He's with his kids.
No, I'm sitting right here, asshole. Get on with the fucking show.
Good morning, everybody.
All right, today I don't really have much going on except LordFarquaad jumped in here from 147 to talk about how lazy Scopely is with their server merges, and you guys are merging, and there's no events, there's no 7-day events or anything. So why don't you tell us all about it?
Yeah, so good afternoon, all. It's great to be back on Trek Talk. It's been a few months, I think, since the fallout from my last appearance.
Has it been months? Really?
Do you know what? I think it has been.
Maybe 1 month. Right. I don't think it's been months.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, no, I got a right ribbing from my alliance for one. And then secondly, some of the individuals who were discussed without being discussed didn't take it the right way, if you put it that way. But that's a whole...
Please tell me you started a war.
No, nothing. No, there was just a lot of pushing, shoving, threats.
Verbal GC. That's right. I remember. You guys do a lot of smack talk in GC.
Yeah. It's fine. It's just it happens and it's fine. But I don't know. My new nickname is Rev Wannabe. So yeah. So I've got no issues with that. Whatever. Up yours. But there you go. So yeah, I thought I'd pop in anyway just to say hi. And yeah, we are. So how long have I been bashing on about server merges? Probably 6 months via DJ, and then more recently through my channel, been talking about our server and showing what daily life is like, how slow it is, how dying it is. And I don't know if it's just pure luck or if Scopely just want me to shut up and stop crying. But they have granted us over everybody else the server merge. And this is coming into place on Tuesday. So what's that, 26th, 27th, 28th? And yeah, they're doing it a little bit different with us. There's no merge event. So there's no event to determine who is going to be the primary server. We've been told we're going to be moving into 146, which is fine. Whatever, it's a number. Yes, we'll lose our identity a bit, but it'll be time to create a new identity and upset some more people. But what we're getting from the sounds of it is all the rewards that you would be getting from the event. We're getting those. We are getting a weeks-long event of welcome to each other server games or something. I'm not too sure. And we're getting the rewards for losing our territory because both servers' territories are being reset. And that has caused a chain reaction.
What do they give you for that?
We have not been told yet, so I will be able to send some screenshots come Tuesday, Wednesday, with some more. But I'm not too sure what's going to be coming up. But let's say we've got five territories, 1 3-star with Jelly BPs. For us for losing, we're losing a lot. And we're going to have to rebuild. We're taking a new strategy as an alliance in working with some of the 146 alliances potentially to carve out what we want. So yeah, there's a lot of tactics going on right now between the alliances on either server to see how we can reclaim TC. But to put it really interestingly, over the last 24 hours, there's been a non-aggression pact across all alliances, apart from the alliance I'm in, that nobody will hit anyone in TC. So it's mine freely to get as much ISO as possible.
Right.
For my alliance, it's been great because yesterday I did about 3.5, nearly 4 million in ISO steals, and I'm one of many who done that. I think as an alliance, we probably stole, 40 to 50 million in ISO that was being mined. But now they are getting smart to it, and they're getting a bit more aggressive, and now they're hunting us. So it's all fun.
So Scopely has gotten a lot lazier with the mergers. You're like, screw these events. They're more active than you. We'll just merge you into them, and we're done.
Yeah, do you know what? I wouldn't. It's interesting because we looked at it, and the video that I posted this morning, actually UK time, so early hours of US. I actually did a full comparison of the top guys, are the 49 on 146 and the 50 on 147, and the different dynamics between them, the top 10 and how that is, and the alliance leaderboards and the different rows as well against for both servers. So you could say yes, it's more of an active, but actually if you look at it on paper, it's very, 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 very similar. And as I say, it's a carbon copy plus 10%.
So last time we talked, on your server, there's like a multitude of languages. Is that the same? Let me put it this way. You had some very unimaginative names regarding the alliances from the country that they're in. Is it the same way on... 147? And just to remind everybody, and ESP for Spain.
Yeah, the 146 alliances are very similar. But actually, you talk about putting it in our the first ever alliance I was in, which then ended up becoming the Whale Alliance before everything changed, was UKGB. So we're talking about United Kingdom, Great Britain. We're double whammy, proud to be British kind of thing. But on their server, they've kind of got the same type of dynamics really, where you've got Genesis, which is German, and I think there's a Rush, which is very much similar, a Russian one. There's some Italians and all sorts. So and it's very interesting of what's going to happen next. Are these same country or language speaking alliances going to join, or are they going to be against each other? Are they going to have non-aggression pacts? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, as there are opportunities to work with foreign language alliances. The question is, then you have the barrier of language. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I gotta believe that just having that language barrier would make it very difficult to kind of get along with another alliance.
Some things just don't translate very well from one language to another.
Yeah, you tried.
A lot of the time, the idea is lost.
Yeah, have you tried translating Russian with Google? It's a right pain, and when they translate to us to abuse us in English, some of the stuff, I think I got called something about a leather crocodile chair underground or something. I don't even know what it was. I think he was calling me gay, and that I was a disgusting individual, but that's what it translated to. So to me, it's Minecraft language. So we just don't respond to it.
Leather. I'm just trying to think, because leather crocodile isn't so much swear in Russian.
Yeah, they don't. There's a lot of things going on with regards to freaks, and that's abomination. That's politics, and that's what the Russians want to say, and we just get on with our thing. But yeah, so it's going to be very interesting to see, and I can see the German alliances working together, the kind of European alliances, and then both on ours and theirs, there's a number of bigger alliances that are mixed country. So those that, but English is predominantly the language, but everyone is able to, from different countries, communicate together.
So the English, the people in England on the servers, the respective servers, probably outnumber the other countries, I would assume.
No.
Who has what nation, I guess, has
I would say on our
population?
on 147, I would say the Germans do.
Okay.
They're massive. The Germans, or is it the Germans? They are. Do you know what? They've always been into the MMOs, and they used to say, used to play O Game back in the day by Gameforge, which is still going. I actually downloaded it and tried to get on it the other day, didn't work. So they've already got that mentality in their mind, and they like mining. They don't like aggression unless they are being upset. And it seems to be the same on 146 as well. So it's going to be interesting to say. I think on 146, there's a good mixture, but again, mainly European over British, for instance. I know that in our alliance, what we found out is actually a number of people who we thought were British were actually from the Netherlands or from Belgium, which has now come to light because the alliance is because other people are asking them questions and they're responding in their own home language, and we're like,
sure.
You're Dutch, yeah, always have been, and we're like, wow, okay, okay. So that's kind of it. So we are learning new things about our own alliance members, but there's a lot of interesting individuals on 146 in the same type of politics as there is on 147.
Yeah, well, it should mesh pretty well.
Yes. So what to say? Watch my video. It's on What the Fark on YouTube, not FUCK, but FARQ. And you'll be able to see the comparisons there, make up your own minds, comment on it. And something else that I'm looking at doing going forward as well is once we've got this merge over and done with, and we're seeing the change in the dynamics of the servers, is that I want to become the champion for servers who are dead. I want to do what I've done for 147 for any other servers out there. So, and to any of your listeners out there, get in touch. Let me talk to you. Let me find out, and we can start championing you and get Scopely to look and consider your server for Emerge.
Oh God! Any of the APAC servers need to be merged. They're all dead.
For the people.
Yeah, 192. I don't know how 192 hasn't been sorted yet. Was it 191? Was it 190? 19.5?
Well, that's because Commander Taylor has a weird handle, but it was 191 and 192 that was merged way back when.
Yeah. So I don't understand how that isn't priority number one every single month, but we'll do what we do, and say for me.
Well, we talked about 190 and 196 that was merged not too long ago. It's the before the merge kind of thing where 196 had 50 players, 50.
Yeah.
As an active population. Oh my God.
That's crazy. But yeah, as I say, for me, it's a very interesting I'm getting a couple of servers who are US and both European kind of reaching out to me saying, look, how did you do it? Like kind of thing. This is what you talk about is very similar to our server. The makeup of the server is very similar, the number of players, the leaderboards. So what can I do? And I said, just leave it in my hands, and we'll work towards a goal of bringing the community closer together, getting these servers full again, and making everyone's life either harder or more enjoyable.
I'd be really interested in seeing the stats on total number of players across the board over the past year and a half. I'd be really interested to know just how many people have left and how many inactive accounts they are, how many accounts they've lost.
Yeah, well, I think for us, we're going to be seeing a lot of accounts drop off. So those we've got some players within our server who are kind of taking extended breaks. So they've all been contacted to say log in to make sure that your account is still active, because I know that they're going to purge all the inactives when we switch. So yeah, we're trying to contact as many people as possible, saying if you still want your account, get in, log in, join an alliance, set up your own alliance, whatever, do something, and then go back off and do whatever you're doing, kind of thing.
Interesting. So when we talked about people getting merged or servers getting merged, it usually happens in like a 3-hour period, and then you get an 8-hour P shield, and then you just get dumped. Are you all you guys looking in territory space, or are you guys in neutral space, or what's your plan for that?
Do you know what? That is top secret right now with regards to the plans for my alliance and the alliance I'm in. But the consensus seems to be that the new working togethers seem to be coming up with plans of how they're going to get back onto the territory board as quickly as possible. I've seen some of what they're going to do is literally just before the server goes down is to dump all of their territories and try and see if they can time it right, win a new territory, which I think they'll probably do that on the Monday. Then we've got others who are looking at kind of taking a 1-star as a base and making sure that they've got as many in there with long P shields on until that takeover takes place. We've got some who are going to sit out in neutral. We've got some who are just not interested in TC at all and will just hop between alliances to get particles and kind of services and stuff. So there's lots of different approaches that are coming in, but it's very interesting because it's a different way of when TC first came in. There was lots of chopping and changing, and they got stagnated. Now we've got double the alliances. It's getting very strategic. There's going to be some who will not be dictated to. There's going to be a lot of fighting. There's going to be a lot of repair costs. And hopefully I can get as much of that on video as possible to the best before my ship gets blown up, most probably.
That'll be a lot of fun, in other words. But so when they do the merge, don't they kick everybody out of territory capture? Just
No.
like place people in random systems?
No, they've specified to us that if...
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, they've specified to us that if you are in a territory capture system and on reset, if everything, the board will be wiped clean, and your base will be treated as if you've just lost a territory. If you are in a double position, as in for us 147, if we're in a place of a 146 will get the place over the 147, and they'll just get dumped off into a 1-star system somewhere. So there's a bit of a potluck to try and work out what systems are going to be full, what's not. Do you move your base and put it somewhere else? So there's lots of
so you're trying to coordinate with people on the other server to figure out where they're going to park their bases.
Mm-hmm. But everyone's assuming. Yeah, so everyone's kind of keeping very secret at the moment with regards to especially the new coalitions and things from there with regards to where they're going to do. So what we'll probably do is we'll see on probably Monday evening, Tuesday morning. We'll do a big hunt and we'll work out where everybody is, and then we'll see what happens once the Thanos snap happens. Really,
it sounds like the people from your server are getting fucked.
Oh yeah, of course we are.
Yeah,
but we don't care. We do you know what? For me personally, I really don't care, and I don't think many of the others do as well. Everything gets set back to 0. Yes, that's fine. Yes, they can keep their territory, but potentially they may have to have a shield on for they can't mine anything. So what's the point? They won't be able to hit any ships. Yeah, they won't be able to do anything. They're going to be stuck there. So yeah, it's for us. We can have a bit of flexibility. For them, they may win. but it's going to be about aggression, and it's going to be about winning those territories. Funnily enough, I don't have a coffin, and now I've gone, oh crap, I need one now because I might actually have to use it. So that we've got these types of scenarios where there's so many people on our servers who haven't got that shit because it wasn't needed, and now it is. So there's new ways of thinking.
It's still not needed. You don't need it. It's just not that good of a ship, in my opinion. But
do you know what? If you stick that on a node and you get, I don't know, if it's T3, T4, you get an auger hit, an auger hitting it. That auger's going to go bang.
Sure.
Simple as that. And that's what it's all about. It's about
just so niche
in the system. It is very niche.
But so niche. I can't bring myself to put any resources into that ship.
No, but when we've got a system like us where territory, there's going to be no territory. Everything's back to day one. There's going to be people trying to defend. There's going to be people stealing territories a lot until it peters out. And
correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Real quick scenario for you.
Yep.
You've got a sarcophagus sitting on a capture node.
Mm-hmm.
You're scoring. You're sitting there for almost a minute. Somebody in some little piece of junk ship comes and hits you. Now you don't get any points for that minute of sitting there.
Yeah, but you'll have other ships. Yeah, but you'll have other ships in the system, and the chances of someone hitting you at that, 55 seconds pass, so you kind of miss the reset on the 0, is 1 in whatever it is. Considering you're going to have lag, considering you're going to have other ships going around, and everything else. So the way, yes, that can happen. But more likely, you're going to have 3, 4, 5 other ships also in that system or in other systems doing things.
Now, do you typically space out your particular players so only, so every person has a couple capture nodes, or do you put your strongest players on all the capture nodes?
This normally what we do, and when we have done defense, is to first off get our biggest ships on capture nodes, and to again then protect the coffins when they come in, replace, done, and then it's just protect the coffins and blow up everything. What you do is you can normally work out where they're going to be coming from, and that's going to be a third of the screen. So you make sure you get your good line up with, you kind of say your throwaway ships at the front and your more stronger ships sitting behind them. So it's all about, right, okay, boom, the smaller ship hits it, slows it down, bang, you can hit it. And that will then overtake the server lag and just kind of gives a bit of formality in a defense or in an attack. So yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out on your server.
Oh yeah, it's going to be an absolute pig shit of a show, most probably. And the lag is going to hit us for the first time, I expect. Proper lag where you can't do anything for half an hour. Stuck out of systems. I can see that happening. But it'll be nice to for me, it'd be nice to see some new names. It'd be nice to blow up some new ships, get blown up by some new ships, and create new friendships, new enemies, new trolls, if you want to call it that.
New everything.
And it's all about excitement. I know some people are going, no, I don't want this. I'm happy. What, you're happy just mining 24 hours a day and doing nothing? Yeah. Wow, you're fun, aren't you? Well, this is happening, so deal with it. But I'm going to have to fight for a node again. There's still enough nodes in the systems. There's enough nodes in the.
Well, how many active people are there in each of those servers? Would you guess?
500 probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll still have plenty of nodes out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And for me, I think the bit that's going to start getting a little bit full is dark space. So that's 60. Was that 60, 64 warp range and the 75 hub, that will start getting busier because people haven't got their territory to go and mine their 4G stuff. We've got a couple of people who are actually now moving their reputation down, so they don't have to mine 4G anymore because they know that they don't have the ships capable of getting up as high as they need to. So we've got some 36 and 37s who are already celebrated. You go from celebrated, and it's who are already doing 4G as part of their dailies for their factions, and they've gone, well, I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm not going to have our territory anymore, so I'm going to bring it back down, so my faction dailies are back down to 3G, and then so there's lots of different movements going on there as well.
Nice. Well, should be fun. Keep us updated.
It should be. And no, sorry for taking over the podcast. I sound like
No,
it's cool. We didn't really have much planned, but
I think Tech's just happy you showed up.
Yeah, no, this has been great.
We like to mix it up in the beginning of the show, so it's perfect.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you: have you made contact with the 146 guys on Discord? And
yes.
They have.
Is it like a united server versus server, or are you going to see defections?
Oh, there's defections. He already said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so what happened was there a joint server, a 146, 147 Discord was set up. That was actually by a member of 146, who's an interesting individual. I've already had my beef with him. He's a bit of the fun police, and told me if you're not happy with what I do, there's the door. So yeah, but that's okay. We had a good chat. He likes me now. So that's come together. So there's been a bit of, I think everyone's just kind of being a bit nicey. They're not talking about past rivalries. They're trying not to talk about the complete and utter dickheads on each other's servers, and it's kind of for us to find out. But I know that a lot of people are talking behind the scenes privately about certain individuals. I know that there's a couple of individuals who have done some naughty things that they shouldn't have done, where they went behind their admiral and council's back and contacted the other servers, so 146's admirals, and started speaking for the server and for their alliance, and got absolutely shot down like tomorrow. And now a potential alliance between some big guys didn't happen because of this. And there's proper politics and propaganda going on, but yeah.
Well, it sounds like a shit show. Yeah.
No, it's
a good kind of shit show. I think.
Exactly. It's chaos, which is great because that's my alliance I'm in. It's just that it's the unknown. It's like looking out to sea and going, right, if I step off this cliff edge, what's going to happen? So, am I going to go in the water, or am I going to die? So this is what it's like for everybody. We don't know what's going to happen. It could be a great success, or everyone gets lovey, sings old kumbaya around a campfire, and it goes back to being boring again. Or it could be all out war. We will have fun for a good couple of months. There's some big beef. There's new alliances. Alliance break up. New mergers. That could happen. You just don't know.
No. I predict though that you'll see a lot of alliances switching sides, creating coalitions. Mergers are going to happen.
I have a feeling I have a feeling already that there's two massive coalitions on both sides. Anyway, on 146 it's like 3 or 4 alliances, and on 147 it's like 5 alliances, which is like half the server. And with them, I can see those two coming together because of the way that they work, to do with kind of multi-alliance setups to create this kind of mega coalition that For me, I don't understand it because all it's doing is restricting your gameplay, restricting who you can raid, restricting who you can do, and things from there. But
Yeah.
each to their own. That's absolutely fine. So I can see that happening. I can see a couple of, say, the bigger, those that don't follow the server rows, that they'll probably come together to have some sort of loose coalition together of let's work together because we work off don't be a dick, not X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, you can't hit this, you can't do that, you can't fart without asking anyone. Type scenarios. So I can see that. And then you've got the whale alliances that'll probably want to stay on their own and just go at each other.
I'd say your predictions are probably pretty accurate. They're going to be pretty accurate.
Or you can have 6 German alliances who just want to mine all the time.
That's fine. They can mine all they want, and I'll just go collecting. They go say they can be the 7 dwarfs as much as they want. I'm just going to go collecting whenever I need to. It's fine. I'd rather hit OPC than mine. I'll tell you that for sure. Mine my minimums every day, and that's it.
Now, why is that? Just because it's easier for you, or
I just hate it. I just hate mining. I just dislike it.
Now, I'm curious though. So, just for like time investment, it can work both ways. So sometimes hunting OPL can be a little bit faster. Sometimes it can be much more of a hassle because you can't do it while not actively playing the game. Whereas mining, you can set it, forget it for a little bit, come back and recall. You obviously can't do that with OPL hunting. So.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. I just kind of put a miner out there and forget about it. And if it gets blown up, it gets blown up. If it doesn't, then quid's in. But for me, I don't go. There's people who will be going mining 24/7, constantly. For me, it's just a necessity for the dailies. I do G4 gas. I'll do the G4 100 and whatever it is K that needs to be done. My G3 ore and my G3 crystal. That's all I do at the moment. I should really start doing some more G4 on the ore and crystal because I have run out. But that's fine. Once this new server goes in, I'll go hunting and go and pick up a good couple of 100,000 a day, hopefully in OPC, up in the higher systems, and just not have to worry about mining
when
it.
You start talking about when you start talking about ISO though, especially that new that Meridian. I mean, you gotta sit there. You have to watch it. You have to be actively playing, and even then, sometimes if you're not paying enough attention, you miss the little flashy light, and boom, you lose your stuff. So, I mean, yeah, when it comes to ISO, I could absolutely see where hunting OPL is definitely going to be more efficient than putting out a bunch of miners. I mean,
yeah, as I say, it's for me, if I'm doing, say, for instance, the events that have just come up, we've had some ISO events. I actually stuck a Botany Bay on a 3-star ISO overnight and just let it mine. Boom, there you go. Take it off, done. Easy. There you go. It's just like that. I've got my Meridian and I fill it up, and but what we are seeing now is because people are starting to be more aggressive, people are starting to be more tactical about it. So we are seeing Saladins, we're seeing D3s and D4s underneath mining ships. So people are watching, and they're your bait. And if if they take that right, I'm going to attack him. All of a sudden, that D3 pops out and gets you Vidar. There's little things that is changed up about the way that people are active mining, but also active defending as well. So if anyone hasn't thought about that, that's a great way of protecting your ships. If you've got little teeny ships that you can't see.
But you said you got like 30 million ISO from just hitting OPL miners.
Yeah, as an alliance we have. I say I got 3.5, nearly 4 million yesterday. I'm sitting about 5 million across the board, which is fine. I'm quite happy with that, and I know that I have enough ISO now to last me through until territory captures come into place in the first week, second week, third week, maybe even up to a month of not having to worry about mining it and refining it. So I've got that in place, which is fine. But I know some people who have got 30, 40, 50 million in the bank and they still don't feel that's enough.
40 or 50 million.
Yeah, of each ISO as well. Not across the board, but of each ISO.
Not enough, huh?
Yeah, but these are the guys that have always got to have who if they go under, I don't know, 50 million of G3, then they feel that they don't have enough.
That's insane.
That's insane. I don't think I've actually mined G3 in so long. I'm just lazy. I just buy the shit from the faction store and just do the 1750 refine because I have all 3 G3s with the prime refine, so I just do the 1750 and just truck on along the way.
Yeah, I just mine it out of necessity, really. It's there, and my ore's running a bit low at the moment. I'm at 800,000 in my ore for G3. So I want to get that back up to about 1.5 million. The rest are sitting about 3.5 million, I think, with those ones. And my gas, G4 gas is 50 million, I think, sitting there to be refined. But that's because I mine it all day.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't need that much. I mean, if you have enough to refine for a month, you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just one of those necessities, and that's part of the dailies as well, because sometimes, for me personally, I'm not going out there, and sometimes I look short because I'm not building something every day. I'm not researching every day. I've been really bit lax on my swarm recently, so I haven't been doing my swarm daily. So I'm trying to make up points somewhere else. So sometimes I will just mine my G4, and then I'll go and hit my Klingon 42 pluses to get enough, and that's fine because it does my ROM as well. But then you've got others where I just have not got the time to go and grind some ships, so I will then go and put a miner out to go and mine G3 crystal and ore because I need the points for the dailies. So it all goes up and down, swings and roundabouts, and gets from there really.
There's just too much stuff to do, and it's one of the reasons I stopped mining G3 because now you have ISO. Now you have to grind for the little rogue keys, and then you gotta still, if you keep up with your data, so you can get more directives for the rogue armadas. You gotta mine this, you gotta mine this, all kinds of shit you gotta do. So I just figured out a long time ago that if I just keep doing enough dailies and get enough of the faction credits, I just buy it from the faction store, and I can still refine, and there's not an issue, and it frees up so much time, so I don't have to be spending an extra 2 or 3 hours in the game a day trying to get all this stuff done. Yeah,
well, see, for me, we had someone today in our alliance got hit OPC for data. And anyone, the kind of thing, has anyone hit anyone in data recently? And okay. I looked to myself and thought, I haven't actually been in the data systems I haven't mined data since the last event. Actually, not the last event, the event before, because I did it via the recruit chest. Yeah, I don't even do data anymore. I haven't done data in a long time.
I just don't understand, and anybody that's listening, you can be mad all you want. That's fine. If it applies to you, then I'm talking directly to you. If you're hitting people OPL for data, you're just lazy. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. It's too easy to mine that stuff.
Well, it's like always hitting somebody for Latinum OPL when
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and you can try to justify it, but you're lazy. Point blank in discussion. That's just.
But anyway. Sometimes you got to be lazy. Can't always got to be unlazy. As in today, right now, I'm supposed to be hoovering the house while the wife's out. Instead, I'm here. So she's going to.
Well, you made the right call. I'm just.
I know I made the right call, but I've now got to explain that, and I'm going to be called lazy. So it's about priorities sometimes. I say for me, if I didn't have to go and mine data, I would go and steal it. But unfortunately, nobody else mines data, so you can't really go and steal it either. And as I said, I think the last time I was on the show, I need to work on Stellar. I'm still at such low numbers on the research on that needs to get sorted.
It's a pain, especially if you're like me and you neglected it for so long. Now, I'm lucky to get into any of the armadas. It's not bad now because I've actually worked really hard to get my power and research up there. But that's definitely one of those you got to stay on top of it because you got people that are 10 levels below you that have a Stella that's twice your power. So you're always getting bumped out of those.
Yeah, I know. Fully understand that one. Actually, I'm just literally looking to see what my Stellar research number is. What's it, M number?
Mine's 54 or 56. Pretty low.
13.
Jesus, fuck. God. Jesus.
13.
Is your Stella in the negative numbers?
Yeah.
No, I've got one tier 6 Stella that I've got stuck with because I don't do enough armadas with it, which means that I don't have enough. What's it need? 13. It needs 20,000 rares on there.
You don't have the prime efficiency, do you?
Nope.
You got to get it. Yeah, I didn't buy it. I just saved up for it and waited to refine what I needed and scrapping and all that. But you got to get it. 100%.
I don't even remember the last time. I've actually got a level 1, tier 1, level 1 Stella that just sits there and does nothing.
Well, my little M thing says max. Whatever that means.
Sorry, mine says,
it means
20.
I mean, I guess that means I'm done, right?
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't think
mine says 20, so it's not that big a deal. If you don't use it, and if you don't go to exchange space, you just don't.
Yeah, but the research, the benefits of the research for your overall gameplay and progression are so incredibly important that if you ignore the Stella stuff, all you're doing is hurting yourself.
I think there's one of the researches. I mean, there's several for cost reduction and stuff like that, which is good in the long run. And then there's one of the better ones in there, in my opinion, is the PvP one. It increases your damage in PvP. So, I mean, there's definitely some good stuff in there. It's just it gets to the point where everything's so tedious, and it's like, well, where am I going to cut time? Because I just don't have the time to spend that amount of man hours in the fucking game to do this. So a lot of people end up cutting it from there, or some of the other sort of sideline things like the away mission stuff and stuff like that.
Well, I'd say the Stella is right there at the top of the list of importance.
I'd say the territory research.
It would be territory would be number 1, and I would say Stella's second, personally. If you're very low, if you're close to max or something, then whatever. But
it might be important, but if it's too tedious to actually, do anything with, unless you spend money on it, and it just doesn't get done. I
you just don't have to spend money on it, though.
You don't, but if you
I have
don't,
never
like
spent
your
a
progression
nickel on any of my Stella stuff.
Do you have Prime?
Yeah.
Well, did you buy it via other packs?
Probably, but
yeah, probably.
So maybe I have spent a little bit. Yeah, I've spent a little bit on it.
I spent $50 months ago because my Stella was so low and I could not do any research because I just couldn't do anything and I was kind of deadlocked. So I spent $50 for an upgrade pack and was able to max one of them, and that was able to get me to where I could start researching and get my Stella up higher, and that really gave me the boost I needed. So unfortunately I had to drop a little bit of coin, but if I would have stayed up with it from the beginning, I probably wouldn't have had to really spend much of anything.
And this is the scenario that I'm in right now. So I got to the point where I was just going, do you know what? I'm making no progress with a Stella and maxing it out. What I wish I'd done now is rather than, I think, getting, you used to be able to get like the tier 4, tier 5, and then you could scrap it, and you were just doing that over and over again. What I would felt that if I had just gone straight to 9 and maxed it, I would then have the necessary resources to work on the Stella, to work on the research, to create it better, which then means I don't have these, in theory, in the level 6, the tier 6 paywall that's there with the rare, because rare
Right.
is it's a pain, and I look at it and go, I just can't be asked to do it. I'd rather invest my time doing something else when I know I need to do it, but that is kind of what I need to do. So many people will be in that scenario right now.
What I suggest,
A lot of them did it with their Franklins as well. They got to a point where it's like, Jesus, I need 1.1 million or 1.5 million for one gun. I can't get that. I think I'm only getting my 27,000 I can get in my hold or whatever it was, and people gave up. Pardon me. But you get over that wall, and I just need to suck it up and find. Really, I wanted a nice big event for a month, do eclipses, then give me some rewards from rare stuff or whatever, and then get me over that hump. Because I've got so much epic, it's unbelievable. I've got loads of that. But
well, they're all important, and I suggest anybody at least have 2 Stellas and have one maxed all the time. So work on your second one, and once you get that maxed, you have 2 maxed, then scrap one. Otherwise, just wait. To be able to get into the armadas, you have to have a strong enough Stella, so you need to keep one maxed all the time.
That's where I'm at, the tier 6 wall with the Stella, and it's just I tried to do it for a month, and I got enough particles to do 2 researches in a month.
Well, then you're just not joining all the armadas just from one event. I mean, just for one
Not
Stella event.
Not an event. No. Oh, back then when I was trying to upgrade my Stella, I couldn't for the fucking life of me get into an armada because there was just so many people.
You have to ask data.
Dude, I fucking asked everybody under the sun for every armada, and it's just like it just got to a point where it becomes annoying. It's like you're actively looking at a fucking timer, and you're seeing if people show up, and then you're like, okay, can I get a star now? Can I get a star now? Can I get a star now? And then it's maddening. I gave up on that because I couldn't do it. You get one rare armada pull every 2 days, and then trying to run as many uncommons as possible, and then I've actually lost on uncommon armadas, and it's just to a point where it's like I'm constantly upgrading and scrapping and losing a bunch of uncommon uranium with going to level 20 all the time, and you only get like 1,500 particles from that. So it's just for a month I was able to get enough particles to maybe do like 2 or 3 researches. I'm like, fuck this, I'm done. I don't want to do this shit anymore.
Yeah.
That's the joys of being in the 30s and grinding a Stella. It's painful. So I could see why LordFarquaad is like, fuck this, I'm done.
It's got to be more difficult now if you're in a large alliance with bigger people because we've all completely finished the exchange. I mean, anybody who's level 50 is finished exchange by now, most likely. Like all the research is done. It's all done.
I don't know. I haven't been in a armada in like a month. I just haven't cared enough.
Huh, fair enough. But it's important, so whatever.
Well, everything in the game is important. All the research, all the upgrades, they're all important. It's just how much do you care after a certain point? If you're not getting anywhere, you know, what's the point of doing something? Like, it's like trying to punch a hole through a brick wall. I mean, yeah, if you keep punching the brick wall for years, maybe you'll get a hole in it. But if all you're getting is bloody knuckles,
Get a bigger tool.
Right, exactly. But you gotta pay for the bigger tool.
That's true.
Anyway, yeah. Going back to 146 and 147.
Well,
Is
we're
you-
nearing
is
the
your
hour
top
mark, so I'd want to move on to our server soon.
Fine. Jesus Christ.
Just letting you know.
Damn it,
What the
Handy,
fuck? do
that's
you
my
have-
bit.
You know,
That's my bit. What the fuck,
Well, I'm taking your bit.
bitch?
all right, Lord Farquaad, is your level? Is he 50 now, or is he still 49? The leader of chaos. Is he excited to blow up a bunch of ships?
He doesn't want to talk to you.
See, he's already moved on, so.
Yeah, he's got to vacuum the place before his wife gets back.
Yeah,
That's
she
exactly
must
what
have
he's
just
doing.
walked in. Yeah, I bet she's arguing with her right now, getting called lazy.
He's getting smacked in the face with a fucking
Yeah.
Tesco bag full of produce.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Sorry,
at any
guys,
rate.
I had to step away there. Sorry, didn't hear anything was going on, but I will listen in again. I've got to make a move, guys. But look, thanks very much for having me on. I'm going to make sure that I try and put as much info out as possible of the server merge over the next week or so, with different comparisons and trying to keep people up to date. And again, if for your listeners, if you need a champion, I'm here. I've got an ear to listen to, and I want to help you guys out.
Well, thanks for
All
coming.
right, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Great stuff. All right, thanks very much, guys.
Take care, Farquaad.
All right, Handy. What the fuck do you want to talk about?
No,
Himself.
He just wants to beat himself in the chest and be like, motherfucker, look at me. I'm level 50 now, bitches.
I'm level 50, bro. Level 50, bro.
How's your war with Bold going? You guys done yet?
Yeah, that's done.
Hey, Handy, let's talk about why Little Dark are now Nona allies as well.
I don't get that. I'm just saying.
Whatever.
Well, it's kind of funny, but I guess we just never thought about it. Like it was like.
So I'll go ahead and tell the story how it even came about. I was hunting OPL, which I don't normally do, but I was actually really, really hard up for some ISO. So I started going around to some of those territories that we don't have an agreement with, and I go into a territory and I see somebody else hunting OPL, and I look at them and they had a whole bunch of OPL, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just steal from them. They've already consolidated all the resources. So I blew up their Vidar and took the shit, and I took off, and I get a message and was like, you hitting allies now? I was like, we're not allies. You just have a little purple hand, man. And so yeah, they just kind of went from there. And so lo and behold, now we're officially allies because of my OPL hunting efforts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we've always said, like we're only allied with Dark. Like
with a K.
Right.
Dark with a K.
DARC, we've always called Little Dark just to differentiate. So it's, you know what I mean? So Dark is Dark and then Little Dark. At any rate, we were never allied with Little Dark. I don't think we've ever talked to them about it. And to my knowledge, I don't, you know what I mean? Like we were friendly, which means 99% of the time we don't hit them or bother them. I mean, I figured that was good enough, right?
Kirk is apparently the 1%.
Exactly. So yeah.
I'm just I'm just looking at the screenshot, and the guy that you hit had a 789 crew to your Gorkon Kurla Azitber crew, and you gained 182,000 ISO from the dark.
It's a pretty significant amount, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, you can't, like, that was just my thinking, like, well, so for me, I skip everybody's meridian. If you're mining with a meridian, I won't hit it. Even though my meridian gets hit all the time, I won't hit anybody's meridian. To me, it's just whatever. If it's a faction miner and you go OPL, like, okay. And he has to be over
you've let it sit there for quite a while.
So. So for my thinking, it's like if you have a faction miner and you're 30, 40,000 OPL or whatever, 25,000 or whatever, okay, yeah, I may take it, depending on, like I said, only if I'm hard up for the stuff. So it doesn't happen very often. But I skip all the meridians. But I saw this person hitting nothing but meridians. And I was like, well, that's kind of not cool, just hitting a bunch of meridians. So I was like, wait a minute. Let me check their OPL. And I was like, haha, huzzah. And so there you go. I got a payday. And this one begat that one, that one begat this one. Lo and behold, somebody said some shit to somebody else, and now we have new allies. How about that?
Yeah.
That's a great way of getting allies. Oh, don't hit us from OPL hunting.
It's silliness, but whatever.
Disclaimer: nobody actually whined about it or anything, so it's not.
No, it was just one of those things. Like, we got a few messages, and they're like, "Hey, what's up? How come Little Dark's not an ally?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, because they've never been an ally." And then Rap was like, "Okay, well, what's up then?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll make him an ally." All right, they're an ally now. And that was the end of the conversation. But
I guess for anybody listening, that's what you got to do with Handy. Just bitch at him like, "Why aren't we allies?" And he'll be like, "Fine, just shut the fuck up. We're allies now. We're done."
I do occasionally solve problems like that. Fine, whatever. Leave me alone.
I did give him hell in one of our private workrooms. I was like, so wait a minute. So all somebody has to do to be allied with Nona is just whine a little bit. And
no, only Little Dark gets that pass. Anybody
obviously,
obviously,
I'm kidding. Obviously, like I was just joking, right? So obviously, yeah, nobody like messaged me. There was no exchange of any angry messages. It was very cordial. It was just simply a misunderstanding between the two alliances. But it was just kind of a funny twist of events.
I guess Little Dark has always had us marked ally.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's where the miscommunication came in.
Right.
So, well, wait a second.
Actually, I just want to point out something, because the new events just dropped, and Holodeck Day 3, destroy Eclipse Armadas, mine data, and destroy Borg probes. How fucking ironic is that?
Yeah. And there's an Armada one, Eclipse Armadas.
Yeah, Eclipse Armadas, mining data, and Borg probes.
Of course, yeah. So.
God, I hate this game.
It's I don't know about, you know what, this is what I gotta do next time around, is I want to gather people's opinion, and outside of the social aspect, leave it all behind. Is the game fun? Just I want to get people's honest opinions about it, because I'm curious.
It certainly can be fun. But on a, like, percentage-wise of, like, how much of your gameplay is fun, I would venture to guess that everybody's answer is going to be pretty low.
I'll just go ahead and say it. I'll admit to it, and other people may not want to admit to it. But the way that they market this game and the way that they advertise it, the way that it's played, the way that it works, it very much is very similar to it's very much an addiction. So I don't see it as any different than having the same effect as smoking a cigarette or something like that, or being addicted to caffeinated drinks or something like that. Because I mean, there are often times where we're picking up this game and moving our schedule around so that we can complete events and stuff like that, and it very much affects people's real life. A lot of people won't want to admit it, and they'll try to pretend that it doesn't. I mean, we have people. Let's be honest. There's some of us who have spent so much money in this game that if you were to go back years ago, before this game came out, before we played this game, and you were to be able to talk to your past self and say, "Hey, man, you're over the course of 3 years, you're going to drop over $10,000 or however much somebody spent." Your past self would be like, "That's fucking insane. No, I won't." And no one here can tell me any different. So, I definitely think that there's a mental health aspect that a lot of people want to try to skirt around, and we try to joke about it and laugh it off, like, haha, just drop money on some other packs. When people are quite literally spending sometimes thousands of dollars a week. And here's the thing, I'm not being judgmental, right? So I'm not saying anything about it. If you have the money, and that's what you want to do, like that's your money, that's what you work for, that's what you work hard for, that's up to you. But I think we all have to acknowledge that if we are able to take a step back, we need to acknowledge that it is pretty, as Handy would say, it's pretty silly. The amount of time and stuff like that we spend on this game, but for some reason we're still drawn to it. So I think that's something to look into.
I was more interested in, like, are you excited to log in every day? Like, are you excited to do shit in the game? That was what I'm more interested in from hearing from other people.
Once a month.
Because
once a month I am.
Right, because I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm like, I log in just to see the new events, and then I go, ugh, and then I turn it off. Yep. Like, this is annoying.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. So I do get excited. I am like a kid in a candy shop when they drop new material. Like, I'm interested to see what it is. We all know that 70% of the time it's going to be garbage, but there are some really cool things, and it's interesting to see the new stuff and the idea of working to achieving to getting the new shit and all that stuff. That is kind of cool, but
it's overall satisfying. As a whole, the game is entertaining and it's satisfying, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is, but I think if you were to, like Tech mentioned earlier, if you were to strip away the social aspect, and it was like, some other kind of online games where there's not really any chat rooms or anything like that, or alliances, I don't think that, I think that the vast majority of the people that are here right now, we wouldn't be.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So that's what keeps it, the competition. I mean, we're seeing it right now. We're seeing people spending mad amount of money to try to catch up with the first place player. Got to have the biggest ship, got to have this, got to have that. And it's basically keeping up with the Joneses in digital format is really what it boils down to once you get to a certain point.
Sure. That's why you see in other servers that have been around just as long have lower power levels. They only have like one person that's level 49. It's because they don't feel the pressure to level up faster because there's not a whole bunch of people that are level 50. Whereas our server has got a bunch of level 50s, so now, they feel the need to spend the extra time and money to get there also. It's FOMO, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Let's table that discussion and do it next week. I'm going to blast out to everybody to talk about whether they like the game, and then we'll get everybody's input. But I want to ask about how did the war, or whatever you call it, with BOLD end? What'd you do?
I mean, it was pretty simple. At the very beginning of it, I had told them, look, if you guys had just left us alone during the events for ISO, we probably wouldn't be in this situation. And Coma kind of took that as, well, then let's just agree to that. And came back pretty quickly after talking to his people and said we're fine with doing that, and then of course, another few days or whatever go by because we had to discuss what we wanted to do with the war, what we hoped to accomplish, what we thought might be acceptable to ask from them, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, ultimately, we would love it if they just stay the hell out of our TC and left us alone. But because it seems that's the general consensus when it comes specifically to ISO, we'd prefer to just be left alone because all of our players have meridians and they don't like getting them blown up every 5 seconds. So it just gets tiresome. Every time you look down at your phone, you've been attacked. It's like, okay, great. So, yeah, essentially we just came back to them and said, okay, let's give us a month cooling off period so people don't get all cranky. Just stay out of our TC for 30 days. After that, just don't, overdo it. And don't hit us during any ISO event, and we'll be fine. But even that being said, any team that's going to let their players just, go crazy on ISO just for the sake of doing it, just because it's there. I mean, that's like saying, it's going to create heat regardless. It's going to create heat. People are going to get pissy. It may not be logical. And even if it's not, what you're agreed to, it's still just one of those reactions. You just can't help it. And if enough people in an alliance are pissed off, then you have to react, If the general consensus of an alliance is, I want to go blow all these fuckers up, then that's what you do, right? So yeah.
So how the fuck did it get resolved?
I just told
talked
you.
to Coleman and you guys are done?
Yeah.
That was a long-winded answer.
It was pretty simple, like I said. He just said they were willing not to hit us during events. I said, great. And that was the end of it.
To be fair, this is a long-winded show.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to give a long-winded answer, I expect some dumpster fire stuff in there.
Well, there really wasn't any. Except as soon as we were done, MBD decided to start nipping at our heels again, of course. So now we've got people wanting to go beat them up. But
could be fun. Just camp their bases.
I don't know. It's turning into this, though. I will say this. All the top alliances are pissed off at MBD and BOLD. And because let's face it, the top alliances, they may have aggressive players. They may have people that might go hunt OPL here and there. But for somebody that's higher level, it just doesn't make sense. Because their ships are super fast at mining and it's just more efficient to go mine it. Now, if all these higher level players with the big ships that they've spent all kinds of money on get bugged too much or don't get showed the proper respect meaning like just be friendly about it. Like, why don't you shoot a message and just say, hey man, I see your 200k OPL ISO. You mind if I take that? I could really use it. I'll bet you 9 times out of 10 people will say, sure man, go for it. You know what I mean? Now, I know that's not really the nature of the game. I know it's completely opposite of the way the game is designed, and it's a complete opposite of the way a lot of people like to play the game. But if you're looking at pure results, you're going to get further in the game and waste less time and progress faster by just playing nice with people. It's just a reality. So you just got to ask yourself what's more important to you. Is it progression and growing in the game and getting to your goals faster, or is it creating a bunch of bullshit, dumpster fire, and blowing shit up when you can and running away when you're faced with a stronger player? You answer that question for yourself. There's your answer. That's how you play. So, I don't have a problem either way. But if, don't cry foul, don't, act all shocked and surprised when people start wars with you because they don't like the way you're playing. You know what I mean? It's like, if you play differently than somebody else, that's great. I respect that, but don't be surprised or act all shocked or call people bullies or call people this or call people that. You know what you're doing. I just don't believe that all these people are stupid. I don't believe it. These people are not dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. So, don't be surprised. That's all. Can anybody argue that? Anybody feel differently?
You're just a bully, man.
I don't think that's a bully.
Hey, Nash, what's up?
What's up? You guys hear me?
Yep. What's going on,
Yeah.
Nash? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, good. So, as far as the OPL thing, it's different opinions. And Handy is right. For higher level players, it just makes no sense. I can go spend hours trying to hunt OPL when with Meridian or even with regular ships, it takes like 30 minutes to get the same amount or less. So it makes no sense for a high level player to do that. Now, as far as you saying that you don't believe all these players are that stupid, I might disagree. I mean, have you talked to a lot of the players on the game? I mean, that's.
I mean, yes, I have, but I generally speak primarily to more of the leadership people. So.
Yeah. And, not everybody has the same opinion as far as, we're getting hit OPL, so we're going to go snap off on somebody. Some people do. Some people in my alliance do the same thing. If somebody hits me OPL, I'm going to go hit every ship they possibly have. And some people take it that way. But the one thing to kind of keep in mind, if you're going to press somebody, don't be shocked if they have a reaction to it. Whether they're justified or not, just don't be shocked if they have that reaction. And if you're going to go after somebody, just, most of the time, if somebody says something to you, just be polite, be civil with it, and it tends to go away right there.
Right. And most people will, even if they're angry, like even if they're like literally about to start war with you, if you just come at it from a respectful, if you just be respectful about it and come off in the right way, then you can diffuse the situation.
Yeah, majority of the time. And then, of course, you always have those few people that's what they're looking for. They're looking for you to have a reaction. And that's what they enjoy. That's their intent. There's people that go around and they do nothing but dry hit just because they want to get your attention, and they enjoy it. So if you react to those people, then, you're playing right into their hands.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And for me personally, and there's a lot of players that are like this, that, we get hit OPL, we get hit dry. Who cares? We don't, it doesn't really bother us because it doesn't actually impact us that much. So what? I didn't get my dailies today. Well, who cares?
Yeah, don't matter much.
Right. Dailies are not really what makes up the majority of my game anyways. So.
Right. And that's why a lot of these situations or issues some of our players have in Nona, like some people will criticize me. I've had other columns criticize me for being a little pacifist about it. Like I just say, oh, whatever, ignore them, let it go. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
and that's because I know exactly what those people are doing. They're just trolling us and they want a reaction. And by not giving it to them, you're doing the exact opposite of what they want, which in my opinion is a win. But some people just can't get that through their head. They can't, you know what I mean? They just can't live with it. They can't live with the fact that, of the inaction. They want to go do something about it. And a lot of times that's not the right way to handle it.
Yeah, but they're mentally invested in the game, and some people financially, some people more financially than what they can actually support, and they get aggressive, and this is not real life, so they put on the little persona, and they get to play behind the keyboard, so people get, they get big, and talk however they want to talk. And then we have the people that believe that that's a real person talking to a real person when it's not. It's a game character talking to a game character. So
Exactly.
everybody gets upset and get their feelings hurt. And we play the game how we do it, however we're going to. But if you get that invested into it, you're playing right into that other person's hands and you're creating problems for yourself. In my opinion, me personally, I'm not going to play into their hands unless, I'm bored and I want something to do. It's like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
well you hit me, well fuck you, I'm going to go attack you, just like everybody else.
The thing is like even when people hit our alliance, and my reaction might be, I don't really care what you do, I'm going to ignore it. A lot of our players don't want to ignore it. They're like, ooh, great, an excuse to go to war, which is probably about over half of our players. Over half of the players in Nona just love it when people troll us. And it's not because they're angry or because they want retribution. It's really, truly just an excuse to go beat up a bunch of people. So if you give us an excuse to react that way, a lot of the time we're going to do it just because we can. And that may be a little bullyish, but these people spend a lot of time and money and they've made themselves very powerful, and it is fun to play like that. Nobody can deny that. So
and I would say that's like that with a lot of alliances. A lot of players, they want some type of interaction where they can do that. They want to kill ships, not the scopely forced PvP, which sucks, but some type of natural aggression that they want to have. We spend more time telling people, no, we're not going to war with an alliance that has 7 people because it's stupid, than we can, we do all those things, right?
It's just not fun, right?
Right. So
but you go after a team that has some skilled players, even if they're not very powerful. You can play the cat and mouse game. You can play all kinds of fun games with them. Like fighting MBD or Bold is fun. It truly is. I mean, they are good teams. They may not be super duper powerful or something, but they've got a lot of good players, and they're active, and they're fun to go beat up on. So,
well, it's fun when you're the team that has the power advantage, because all you got to have is a bigger ship and then to understand how to crew that ship. Not be an idiot from that aspect. But it's fun from there because it's a guaranteed win. But you want to play against teams that give you some type of challenge, that fight back. And the MBD is one of those type teams where they'll fight back. They may not win, but they're going to find ways to, put stress on you and make you get frustrated. And it's enjoyable when you have somebody that challenges you. And then when it's over with, say, hey, good job. It was fun. See you again next time.
Yeah.
Versus,
I mean, I consider Bold and MBD to be worthy adversaries personally. They, like I said before, they may not have as powerful as ships and stuff, but they find ways to get you.
Yeah,
and it's fun. I mean,
yeah, it's fun to have something to do other than mine or do rep grinding or hostile grinding, whatever you're doing that's just monotonous and it's just boring and it's just over and over and over again. That stuff drives people insane. You got to have some release that's different than that to keep people occupied or keep their minds occupied with the game. Otherwise, they either get so frustrated that they quit the game, or they get so frustrated that they go off the rails just because they're looking for something, right?
Sure.
So every once in a while, a little war or whatever, if you don't like the term war, dry hitting event, whatever you want to call it.
A skirmish.
Those little things are good for people every once in a while, just as long as it doesn't last so long it impedes progress on either team. And, you come away with it without holding real life grudges against made up characters, right?
Right. That's the biggest thing.
Go back to what Kirk was saying about the mental health aspect of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whenever I see somebody with a true grudge, they just, can't let it go, it's even affecting real life for them. I just try and tell them, man, you gotta let that shit go. It ain't worth it. You can't let people get to you like that.
Yeah, there's a few players in the game I don't really care for in the game. Outside the game, it has nothing to do with that. I wish them well, wish them the best. But in the game, they played their game character to a way that, I don't care for it. So I don't acknowledge them as, anything more than, just an adversary in the game that I don't like. But once I walk away from the game, I'm not sitting there thinking about that one person that I don't like in the game. It's gone. It disappears. But there's some people that can't do that. They can't let go. And those are the people that, you really worry about. Are they really all right mentally? Because they're obsessing over something that doesn't exist. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like those people getting married to traditional Lord of the Rings weddings type things. You ever seen that shit? It's, they're in full costume and all that, fake ears, bullshit.
Yeah.
And
their ability to compartmentalize is lacking.
Right. And whenever and I'll use that as an example because the actual writer of that whole book series, when people showed him pictures of that, he hated it. He said people are taking this too seriously. It's just fiction. And that's all this is. It's just fantasy. It's just fiction. It's a release from the real world that, we enjoy, we have fun with. So have fun with it instead of, making it into be World War III or something.
Absolutely.
That's just, Unless it's StrangeKirk, then you hold a grudge on him.
Even
forever.
the characters in this game that take it too far, and we all know who those are, like, just chill out a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
You can still play your character and not take it too far.
Let me tell you something, Nash. SK simply matches people's energy, and that's it. That's it.
Well, you left the best alliance on the server because you said you were bored, and I don't really understand how you were bored with an alliance that's just so awesome as we are. But that's your prerogative.
To be fair, you are the second most awesome alliance. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's from a viewpoint of somebody who's just can't admit that they are second best, but that's okay.
Well, I would say you're projecting there, buddy.
Oh man, Jesus Christ! Now it's getting deep. It's not even fun anymore.
Where am I going to get the tape measure for this one?
Now you're gonna have to get some yardsticks for this shit. This is getting out of hand.
I'm just saying we're gonna win in that department too. Obviously.
Okay. I don't know. Right, not if we don't get more participation from this fucking Riker event. We're not.
Oh yeah, we did drop the ball on that one for sure. We've had a bunch of people dealing with some real life stuff.
We're waiting on y'all. We're looking backwards at y'all at second place or third place now, is it?
Fair enough. I can't deny that. We have been kind of ignoring the events and the leaderboards and stuff as a team.
Yeah, we've been closing. We're closing the gap. We're closing the gap. We're only about 200,000 behind.
Yeah, but that's always the challenge, is trying to keep people active, and it's the same concept. Some people, the game is very leisurely, whereas some people take this as they're spending a good portion of the day trying to actually play. I play probably about 2 hours a day total, 2, maybe 2.5. That's all the time I have. And if I got something else going on, well, I may log in for a few minutes, try to set a monitor, and that's about it. But there's some people that they literally, this is their life. Every time you log in, they're on. It's like, goodness, go take a shower or something. But that's what their preference is. And so it's always a challenge when Scopely designs events that takes hours to complete, to actually get people to complete them, which that's a big complaint of mine. The events take way too long. You know some of these people are playing, they ain't showered in a week. You know that.
Yeah.
Half sitting beside them. You know that, like that. Probably still sitting in bed too.
They've got two iPads and a cell phone out, fucking arrayed around them.
Yeah, and probably a dirty towel on the bed as well.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
To each their own. I'm not judging. And stop talking about Chef like that. He uses dirty socks. Just saying.
Oh God.
Jesus. This whole show is a train wreck.
I guess Donald Trump is right. The anniversary avatar, he won the 5-day grinding hostile event. He didn't shower or take a shit. Wow, that's impressive.
That is
How
impressive.
do you gonna?
I can
He risked
understand
an impacted colon for a goddamn frame.
Yeah, I can understand them not taking a shower.
It's a
How do
gorgeous
you not
frame.
take a
Shut
shit
up.
in a week?
Let
Goodness.
me tell you about this frame. Let me tell you about Handy and I having a conversation. Last night he was like, "Man, I sure would like to get some participation." He was like, "I sure would like to get some more participation out of this, man. I'd really like to have that frame." I said, "Don't ever fucking say those things to me like that again. Don't ever do that." I was like,
I don't like to
fucking
miss
do it."
out on shit.
No, man, that's like the kid waiting in line for the fucking the limited edition Nintendo Switch controllers, like waiting in line overnight. Get the fuck out of here.
Here's the difference. It'll seem important to me for about 5
The-
seconds.
you mean-
and then
you mean the
then I move on.
Here's the difference. At least the kid that's sitting out waiting for the Switch controllers actually has something to show for it.
Yeah, there you go.
What are you talking about? Handy could always bust out his cell phone and be like, "Check this out. This is my game. This is what I spend a condo on."
Yeah,
Yeah, there's no bigger way than to get people to instantly think of you as a jackass and be like, "Hold on, let me show you this cool ship I just got in my game." All I'm gonna say is, thank God my wife's married to me at this point.
I know, right?
Well, you haven't heard chick stick ships?
Let me
Yeah,
tell you
really.
something, man. I tried to get her to play this game, and because she likes Star Trek and she plays Timelines, and I tried to get her to play it. She logged in and she was like, "Fuck this! I'm not playing this goddamn game. Like, fuck this whole game. Everything about it. Game is stupid."
You definitely married up, just gotta say.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think if she were into it, maybe that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
My wife banned me from playing the game inside the house. She absolutely can't stand it. So
That's awesome. He's gotta walk outside.
I have a little recliner in my garage. I go sit in it.
That's great.
She'll come out and go, "Quit pew pewing, come in." But
Pew pewing.
That's great. Nash has got
Donald Trump says, "At least you have a recliner."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's electric too. Nice.
Mommy, I say he got a folding. Motherfucker sitting in a goddamn garage on an igloo cooler.
I'm on a bucket, so I got a bucket.
Hey, but
An upside down bucket.
The bucket takes care of the need to go take a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
just flip
man.
it over and,
Yeah, just bring the water hose in and you get the shower taken care of.
there you go.
The best buckets come from Home Depot, actually.
They do. They are the best buckets.
I disagree. I think they come from Lowe's.
No,
I'll fight
the
you on
the Lowe's one's cracked. Let's fight.
The Lowe's one, man. Lowe's is the hairy homeowner store. There's always some dude on a Saturday morning, and he finds that one tape measure that he has and clips it to his belt and walks around and pretends he's a contractor for the next hour and a half while his wife is in the fucking garden section.
Yeah.
I worked at Lowe's like 20 years ago when I was in college. I used to have wives walk in and then hand me their phone so their husbands could tell me what they wanted. Hated it.
Yeah.
It's like, you lazy bastard. Just come in. Anyways.
You know he's got some big gut, and then he grew out a goatee to cover up the double chin. He probably he probably drives a Toyota Tacoma. He probably wears some Ray-Bans or Costas with some cargo shorts.
No. He doesn't have a Tacoma. He's got a Ridgeline. A Honda Ridgeline. If anybody owns a Ridgeline, I'm sorry, I had to.
No, if
anybody owns a Ridgeline, I'm not sorry.
Yeah, if you own a Ridgeline, you deserve that.
Yeah, fair enough. I was just trying to be nice.
Welcome to the roasting hour on Trek Talk.
Yeah. I'll say.
Donald Trump says he had a guy argue with him that a Ridgeline is a truck. No, it's not.
It's not.
It had a fucking frame. All right. And it's so bad that they're trucks. They're not even 4-wheel drive. They're all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I have all seasons on here. I can go through some mean mud puddles, I tell you what.
Yeah, it goes through that 2-inch deep puddle real nice.
Yeah, 2 inches is what they're used to.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess-
Sorry, children.
I will say this: a Ridgeline is still better than the jackass I saw loading 2x4s in his Corvette the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Florence, Alabama. Yes.
You know
So-
what?
So
I
here's-
fucking love that guy in the Corvette. That is awesome.
So here's a funny thing, and this is a true story. A while back, I wanted to get a truck. I was driving a car. I missed having a truck, so I was going around and I was like, dude, I'm not spending $45,000 for a fucking 4-wheel drive F-150. I do not need an F-150. I just really don't. I can't justify owning it. There's no reason I need to have it. So a buddy of mine.
Ranger?
No. They didn't make. So they stopped making the Rangers, or else I probably would have. But a buddy of mine was like, dude, come see me. And I was like, dude, you work at Nissan. I'm not getting a fucking Nissan. It's not happening. And he was like, okay, whatever. So a week goes by. We're sitting around drinking, and he's like, did you get your truck yet? No. He's like, you need to come see me. So finally, I was driving around one day. I happened to be in the area, and I called him up. I was like, you at work? Yeah. All right, I'm coming by. So we go and look, and I'm looking at the Titans, and I'm looking at the Frontiers, and I'm like, I can't justify $40-something thousand for a Titan. I don't need that. There's never any time that I would absolutely need that. I just can't justify it. Plus, I like to do trail riding, so them big ass trucks end up getting scratched the hell up. So he had me test drive a Frontier, loved it, bought it. I go out trail riding. I've got an SV 4x4, and I put a 3-inch lift on it, and then I put some 33s on it. And so we're going out trail riding, and this dude in the Dodge starts making fun of me. He's like, oh, that little pussy truck and all that stuff, trying to show out in front of his little girlfriend or whatever. So they take off and go into the trail or whatever. Me and my buddies, we load up. We go into the trail. I shit you not. That raggedy ass Dodge gets stuck. That motherfucker flags me down and says, hey man, you think you could pull me out? So I stopped. I looked around. I said, yeah, man, $20. And,
Did you pay it?
Fuck yeah, he gave me $20, and I pulled that fucking piece of shit out. So there's my little Frontier soapbox right there. I don't think fucking Honda Ridgeline would have left the pavement. Why the fuck do people buy that shit?
Well, that's great.
Meanwhile, Nash has probably got some sort of ridiculous F-10,000 with a goddamn 28-inch lift and some fucking super swampers on the son of a bitch or something.
No. Silverado, jacked up, 4x4, Flowmasters on the back, customized front end grill. Yeah, it's a bad motherfucker, but it's not excessive, I don't think.
Oh my god! I bet you love driving that motherfucker hungover. Blah 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 blah.
I think I'm gonna go get one of those flatbed trucks with the big old boxes on the side with locks that'll, withstand a nuclear bomb.
Nash was telling me the other day that LethalWeapon drives a Prius.
Really?
Yeah.
Lethal, buddy, you just dropped quite a few notches, man.
He said it gets great fuel economy.
Oh God.
Pass everything, including the gas station, at about 55 miles an hour.
Ugh. Every single one of my vehicles dumps more fuel out the exhaust pipe than it burns.
Hey, Donald Trump said, is that how he got to 50 driving a Prius?
Yeah.
He's saving on fuel.
Well, if you don't spend money on gas, you spend it on somewhere else, right, Lethal?
I was doing that hoping I'd see a little hand raised down there.
I know, right?
Down there in the audience. So have you got, since we're completely off topic and this whole show's gone to shit, have you guys seen Ford's new Maverick?
No.
You got to check it out. If I were a man bun kind of guy, I'd probably get one.
Well, I'll take a look. Well, we can get back to server 34 business. What else is going out there on 34?
Tech, just edit all that shit out. Just
no, fuck that. Leave that shit in.
I think it'll stay in. People love to
Oh.
diverge into trucks and cars.
I think that needs to be the whole podcast. Just edit all the shit before it out.
Trucks. That's what it
Truck
needs to
talk.
Truck
be.
talk.
Truck talk.
In
And
space.
and we need to
That's,
hold on.
that's what
we
the
need
title should be. That's what the title should be for this show.
You need to change the intro and just be like yee yee or some shit.
Yee yee.
Oh man.
And no, it'll just be like a car revving. I'm like, whoa.
Well,
Can you
Nash
tell how
already sounds
illegal
like
that is?
this thing. Nash already sounds kind of like Boomhauer, so we got the bases covered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, somebody digging on a flow master, man. I'm talking about go blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah, man.
Goddamn. Okay. Anyway, get back to the server.
I tell you what.
Nash is all of them in one.
You know.
The ball.
Dang it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
Like, dang it, Bobby. How could you get an F in English? You speak English.
You sound like an old man. That was horrible. Edit that out.
Yeah. I don't do a good Mike Judge.
Where are you from, Tech?
California.
Yeah, don't do a Southern accent.
No.
Just don't.
We suck at
Well,
it out here.
Southern accent is different from Hank's accent. His is like, well, Mike Judge is from California, so what the fuck?
Yeah, but he's good at it.
I'll invite Chef up. Chef, buddy, come on up to the stage. Let's make this a real dumpster fire.
You gotta
lethal while you're at it.
Yeah, you gotta get lethal. I just sat there and roasted him and made up a story about a Prius.
Well,
You gotta get him
Lethal's
in.
not answering. We gave him the green hand.
Oh, there he is. There he is. He's here.
Well, Lethal, buddy, you driving a Prius? You gotta unmute.
Did it come with a dental dam?
Actually, just before we go on a dumpster fire, Mike Judge was actually born in Ecuador. Just saying.
Hey, Chef, buddy, you there?
Yep.
What's up, man?
Oh, I'm just laying in my urine-soaked bed.
Excellent.
Nice.
And Lethal drives a Prius.
Yep, everybody's worried about my Prius, man.
I'm never gonna let you live that down.
Oh, Kirk,
Tell me you have another vehicle. That is not your only vehicle, is it?
I had a Raptor, a 2020 Raptor, and then
that's better. That's much better.
I wound up selling it last month because everything was so crazy high. I actually made money from when I bought it. So
I've been thinking about doing that. But we just paid my truck off, and I was like, one of my buddies just sold one of his trucks. He planned on having it forever, but they gave him. I think he owed like 19 grand on it, and they ended up giving him like 27 and a half.
Yeah,
and he was like, dude, we have 3 cars. He was like, I will drive a Ford Fusion until the wheels fall off for fucking almost 10 grand. Like,
yeah, I sold mine, and I got more than what I paid for it. And at my business, I have a Ford Ranger, a newer one, and I'm just driving it now. I was going to wait for the new Raptor to come out with a V8 in it.
Have you guys heard that guy in the South that whenever he sees a Ford Ranger, he puts out YouTube videos and he goes, "Motherfucking Ford Ranger!"
No, I haven't seen that one.
who the fuck are you?
So funny.
Is this person Mike Tyson? What is this voice you're doing?
No, he seriously sounds like that. Let me see if I can find it. Fuck, it's so funny. Hang on.
Jesus Christ, man. I tried to get... My wife bought a new vehicle a while back. She drove when we got together, she had it for quite a while. She ended up getting a Volkswagen. And she had a little VW car. And she ended up getting convinced her to get a fucking 4Runner. Man, that thing's nice.
Okay, so I'm gonna post it in the podcast chat. and I'll play it real quick. Let me turn my volume up. Is this the one?
Motherfucking son of a gun! Motherfucking Fort Ranger! So you may be big and shit, but you ain't no fucking fucking Ranger! Fort Ranger! I know this truck. I ain't no stranger. I know that truck. That's a Fort fucking Ranger! Fucking Ranger! Fort Ranger! Damn, working Fort Ranger. Fort Ranger! Fort Ranger! Some bitch!
What do you have us listening to?
Fort Ranger! I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's good if they just keep following me, man. I just feel like, yeah, fucking Ranger. Hey, that's Fort Ranger. Fort Ranger. Fucking Fort Ranger. Fucking Fort Ranger. That's a fucking flatbed Fort Ranger. Fort Ranger.
Anyway, watch the video. It's just ridiculous. And my dog thinks so too.
That sounds like
Oklahoma,
half the people I know.
Yeah.
That, seriously, it's bad.
That dude's
People
from
dying laughing.
that dude is from Opelika, Alabama.
Yeah. So anyways, how's everybody doing on server 34? Anything to report, Chef? Is everybody chilling out on the whole ISO hitting stuff?
What?
Is everybody chilling out on the ISO hitting stuff?
I haven't been in ISO this morning. Or actually, I have. I think. I don't know.
Like, what about yesterday?
I can't. It smells too much like piss in my room. I can't think straight.
Oh, shut up. You fucking liar.
Everything's going. A lot of events going on today.
Yeah.
Well, that was fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of Trek Talk with Heck and Kirk.
I am currently cooking ginger beef for my sister who burned her ass off, including her tank, because on the 4th of July. How's that?
Okay,
And Server 34 is prospering.
Clearly, it was a mistake to bring Chef on the stage today.
I'm just giving you a heads up. Jesus.
So I got a question. Somebody posted it. I think it may have been DT saying that when is the he was asking about a dark versus bold war. What's up with that, Nash and Lethal? To whom it may concern.
I want to know why Lethal went to the other team.
He's visiting.
Oh.
What's up with that? What's up with that, Nash? I thought Dark was the best. Why are people leaving if it's the best? If it's the best alliance, why do they want to visit other places?
Because we're trying to teach them how to be as good as us.
Is that what it is?
I guess. I don't know. No, Lethal went over to visit since they had some guys that came to visit us, just hang out for a little bit. Because we had friends that are not just in our alliance. We actually talk to people outside of our alliance. Have a good time.
So Scopely, we're so bored. We're actually just hopping around. We're like alliance fuckboys. We need more people.
It would be nice to have a merger, actually.
Create some chaos.
Yeah, you know. Certainly give us some content. Now, what's surprising to me, though, is that MCRN hasn't gone to war over OPL hitting yet.
Because they're OPL hitting just as much as everybody else.
But they're like the mining alliance.
Yeah,
It just surprises me that they would go out and OPL hunt, because that's just going to cause people to OPL hunt them. You know, the whole retribution thing.
Yeah, but every alliance does it. Every alliance has got OPL hunters. We do. NONA does. BOLD does. MBD does. They're the same. Some people don't like to mine, and they think that that's the best way to go about it, even though it's inefficient, but that's what they do.
It's slower, though. I think it's just that's the only PvP action I think they feel like they can do. But unless you get a reaction out of somebody, there's no PvP to it. It's not PvP. It's just I don't know, just pointless.
Yeah, and go back to StrangeKirk's question about or whoever posted that question about Dark versus Bold. There's no reason for us to go to war. So until there's a legitimate reason, it's just like it is.
Hey, Farquaad says if we want to merge, we should just ask, and he's gonna get us a merge.
Who would we merge with? What server is he on?
Oh, we wouldn't merge. It'd probably be another
European.
U.S. It'd be another U.S. North American whatever server.
No. I think we need to merge with a server that's non-English speaking.
Yeah.
Well, we have a fucking server where half the people are non-English speaking.
Yeah, I mean, we've got South America people mixed in.
No, I was being a fucking dick. Some of these people's grammar is, I don't know how the fuck they know how to put pants on, but.
Oh.
That is true.
I don't know. In a Real Alliance chat, you wonder if they can speak adult.
No. Why is everybody's online persona a fucking 13-year-old kid in their basement?
Because that's just the way it is.
Well, Handy, I'm in my fucking garage, so back off.
Better than a basement. But seriously, though, why does everybody got to stoop to the childish level when they get online?
Because they got to have a way to express their pent-up bully or whatever. They finally have a chance to be somebody where they can talk shit, whereas in real life, they were probably the kid that rode the bench in T-ball. Yeah, something like that.
So they're one of those, you're saying that these people that talk a lot of shit in the game are the people that cross the street when they come across another alpha male?
They stare at the sidewalk.
They're the type of people that cross the street when they come across a gamma male. Not even alpha.
Some of these people on here, I can only imagine. It's like you just want to ask them. Do your parents change the subject when people ask about you?
That was a good one.
Well, give them about 30 seconds so they can run into the next room and ask them.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
We're just full of them today. Just burn
God.
after burn.
And there's, even though we're not dropping any names, there's certain people that are going to hear this and they're going to rage. And it's so funny. There's so many people that talk shit.
If somebody listens to this and they're getting angry, they need to do some serious self-reflection.
Well, what I was going to say is there's a bunch of people, you'll see them and they'll be like, yeah, that stupid podcast or whatever. And it's like, then they're quoting shit that goes on in the show. And I'm like, you're fucking listening to it, man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, there'd be somebody in GC going, oh, Nash is talking shit about me. And I'm like, dude, I've been on this server for 2 years and I don't know who you are. That type of deal. So
that's the biggest. That's the biggest burn when you're like, who the fuck are you?
You've heard the story of 70 virgins. Go to heaven and you get 70 virgins or whatever it is.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay, well, just change your miner's name to a female like Heather's Mining. You'll see 70 virgins come talk to you.
That was clever. That was clever.
That is,
you know what,
that is
though?
I thought it was going.
The guys that kind of will let people believe they're a woman, like, because we have quite a few people on the server, and I know they're dudes, and they let people believe that they're a female player. They're kind of clever if they're a pacifist, because 9 times out of 10, people will leave female players alone.
Well, I always thought those people were just reflecting their real life persona because they're bitches. But that's just me.
Well, that may be true too, but
maybe they identify as a leather couch.
To each their own.
Anyway, so Handy, do you with the I don't know, man. I ain't got shit. I got nothing.
It didn't work out how you expected, huh?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to keep this thing going.
I think we've reached our allotment here.
Yeah, we're fucking done. We've been done.
Yeah, we've been done for about an hour. There, Tech.
All right. I want to thank everybody for joining. LordFarquaad, Lethal, Chef, Nash, as always, Handy and Kirk. This has been Truck Talk. And rev your Hemis.
Yee!
Don't forget to Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all those wonderful things on social media.
They going on, man. She.
Thanks, everybody, for joining. We'll see you guys next time.